हॅलो
येते
हॅलो येतोय ना मुलं?
हो येते ना.
येतोय ना? स्टार्ट करते.
हो तुम्ही बोलून सुरू करा. काय प्रॉब्लेम असेल ऐकण्यात.
Hello. Last lectures we have studied about viruses. Now we will start introduction of mycology. So now we will deal with mycology lectures. So mycology is the study of fungi. So first we will see how fungi differ from bacteria. Firstly, they possess a rigid cell wall. Secondly, cytoplasmic membrane contains sterol. And thirdly, they possess two nuclei with nuclear membrane and paired chromosomes. So now we will deal with classification of fungi. So fungi are classified by three methods. Firstly, morphological classification of fungi, and then we will see the next classification such as pathological classification. So firstly we will see about morphological classification. They are classified into four types: yeast-like fungi, molds, and dimorphic fungi. So yeast are unicellular fungi and they reproduce by budding. Example is Cryptococcus neoformans. Secondly, yeast-like fungi. Example is Candida albicans. These are also unicellular fungi and they reproduce by budding and by fission. So these yeasts look like round cells and they produce buds. A small bud arises from the rounded cells. Then filamentous fungi or molds. They are composed of hyphae. So hyphae are nothing but long filaments. They may be septate or aseptate hyphae, and they are seen like in an entangled mass. So they are called as filamentous fungi. I think all of you have seen rotten bread. Some filamentous structures, white filamentous structures appear on the rotten bread. So these are nothing but, these filamentous structures are nothing but fungal growth which appears on a rotten bread. These filamentous fungi are also reproduced by asexual means. Then fourthly, thermally dimorphic fungi. So the name dimorphic means they grow as well as in filamentous forms in culture and at 22 to 25 degrees centigrade, and grow as yeast in culture at 37 degrees centigrade. Means they have two types of growth, that is filamentous growth as well as yeast-like growth. So they are called as dimorphic fungi. Now the next type of classification is the systemic classification or taxonomical classification. So taxonomical classification or systemic classification, they are again classified into four types: Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, and Fungi imperfecti. The Phycomycetes are lower fungi that have non-septate hyphae and form endogenous spores called sporangiospores. Then ascomycetes, they form sexual spores or ascospores within a sac or ascus. These ascomycetes type of fungi, they have yeast as well as filamentous fungi. They fall in this group of ascomycetes. Then thirdly, basidiomycetes. They form basidiospores, which are sexual spores. And lastly, fungi imperfecti. They are also called as eutromycetes or hypomycetes. These are the fungi whose sexual phase have not been identified. So they are called as fungi imperfecti. So this is the second type of classification or systemic type of classification of fungi. First we have seen about morphological classification. Secondly, we have seen about the taxonomical classification or systemic type of classification of fungi. Then thirdly, we will see the pathogenic classification of fungi. So pathogenic classification, they are divided into primarily pathogenic or opportunistic pathogens. Primarily pathogenic type of fungi, they cause infections in the healthy people, and opportunistic pathogens are those fungi which cause infections in the patients who are having pre-existing defects or some pre-existing disease. The pathogenic fungi may cause superficial mycosis, cutaneous mycosis, subcutaneous mycosis, or deep and lastly deep or visceral mycosis. So superficial mycosis, it is the disease of fungal disease which is confined to the superficial layers, mainly to the skin. Then superficial means they do not penetrate the skin layers, only they are superficial to the skin layers. Then cutaneous mycosis are the diseases of the fungi. They may penetrate the dermis of the skin and cause some infections inside the dermal layers of the skin. Then subcutaneous mycosis, they, as the name suggests, they infect the subcutaneous layers of the skin. And lastly, deep or visceral mycosis. So they penetrate deep layers of the skin and also viscera. They may penetrate the viscera, they may enter the blood circulation and cause infections in the various organs such as brain, liver, kidneys. So this is called as visceral mycosis. So in the subsequent lectures, you are going to study of all, you will deal with all these types of mycosis, namely the superficial mycosis, cutaneous mycosis, subcutaneous mycosis, and deep mycosis. Subsequent lectures, you are going to study all the types of mycosis in detail. Now we will see what is mycotoxicosis. So mycotoxicosis is the disease which is caused due to the toxic metabolites produced and toxic metabolic products which are released by fungi. So example is groundnuts. So some groundnuts which are having fungal growth on that, they may produce some toxic metabolites. So eating such type of groundnuts or some mushrooms may cause food products. Mainly it is due to some food products such as groundnuts or mushrooms which produce toxic metabolites, metabolic products which are released by fungi. So these toxic metabolic products may cause some mycotoxic. This disease is called as mycotoxicosis. So patient after eating such type of toxic these fungi which are producing toxic metabolic products, patient may get diarrhea and vomiting. So that is called as mycotoxicosis. Then hypersensitivity reactions. So hypersensitivity reactions produced by fungi are type 1 and or type 3 reactions, these reactions are provoked by inhalation of fungal spores, mainly Aspergillus fumigatus. Now we will see the comparison of bacteria and fungi. So how fungi differ from bacteria. First, see the diameter. Fungi approximately 4 micrometers in diameter and bacteria are 1 micrometer in diameter. Then morphology, fungi are seen as yeast and mold and bacteria are seen as cocci, bacilli, spirochetes and branching filaments. Then the staining property, fungi are gram-positive, non-acid fast and they are stained with fast and GMA stains, and bacteria are gram-positive, gram-negative and acid-fast type of bacteria. Cell wall content of fungi, they mainly contain chitin and bacteria contain peptidoglycan. Cell membrane, fungi, sterols are present in the cell membrane and in bacteria, sterols are absent except mycoplasma. Cytoplasm in fungi, mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum is present, while in bacteria it is absent. Then nucleus present in nucleus is eukaryotic in fungi and prokaryotic in bacteria. Spores, fungi produce sexual and asexual spores for reproduction, and bacteria endospores are produced for survival and it is not for reproduction. Thermal dimorphism is present in fungus while it is absent in bacteria. Now we will see reproduction of fungi. Fungi reproduce by sexually by forming sexual spores and asexually by forming conidia or asexual spores. So there are two methods of reproduction of fungi. One is sexual method and asexual method. Sexual method is by sexual spores and asexual method is by forming asexual spores or conidia. Then sexual spores are of 3 types: zygospores, ascospores and basidiospores. Ascospores are formed in a sac called ascus. Basidiospores are formed outside on the tip of pedestal called basidium. Zygospores are single large spores with thick wall. Then in fungi imperfecti, the fungi that do not produce sexual spores are called as fungi imperfecti. Then asexual spores are produced by mitosis. Fungi reproduce asexually by forming conidia. Shape, color and arrangement of the conidia are helpful. Asexual spores can be vegetative or aerial type of spores. The vegetative spores are arthrospores, chlamydiospores and basidiospores. The aerial spores are sporangiospores and conidiospores, microconidia and macroconidia. So these are the types of vegetative spores: asexual spores, vegetative spores and aerial spores. Now look at these diagrams. These are the vegetative forms of fungi. So there is dimorphism and we can see vegetative forms of fungi in 2 forms, yeast and mold. So this is a solitary yeast which is a rounded structure and they form germ tubes, sprout-like structures which come out of the solitary structure is called as germ tube. And you can see a bud arising from the solitary structure of the yeast, which reproduces by budding. A bud arises from the solitary yeast rounded cell. Now the hyphae mold, they are formed in the seen in the hyphal form. So they are called as septa, which are having hyphae. They are having septa. Some partitions, they are called as septa. And the pseudo hyphae, they are not true hyphae, but they appear like hyphae. The rounded yeast cells which are clumped together and form budding, they appear like hyphae. So they are called as pseudo hyphae. So when these hyphae are entangled in a mass, they are called as mycelia. So these are seen in an entangled mass. Now the asexual spores, which I have already told you, they are seen in the sporangium form. Example is seen in the Rhizopus species of fungi. It is a zygomycetes. You can see here various rhizoids in the base and a septum, and a sporangiophore is arising from this septum, and a sac-like structure which is called as columella, and sac-like structure is called as sporangium. So this sporangium contains sporangiospores, which are the asexual spores. Then next example is Aspergillus. You can see septa, and conidiophore is arising from a septa and a vesicle. So these are the conidia which are arising. Example is Aspergillus. Aspergillus is a type of fungus. So these are the asexual spores, which are sporangiospores and conidia. Now this is a sexual spore. So sexual spores are zygospores, bastidiospores, and ascospores. Three types of sexual spores: zygospores, bastidiospores, and ascospores. So zygospore, example is Rhizopus species of Zygomycetes. You can see a large sac-like structure containing the spores, which are called as zygospores. Then bastidiospores, so which is coming out from a pedestal structure, a bastidium, which is a asexual bastidium, and the bastidiospores are arising from the basidium. So sexual spores are zygospores, bastidiospores, and thirdly ascospores. So ascospores, they are spores which are containing in a sac-like structure called ascus. So you can see the diagram of sac-like structure which is containing the spores called as ascospores. So this is regarding the introductory part of the, just we are dealing with the introduction of mycology. So now today we have seen about classification of the fungi. So we have dealt with three types of classification of fungi: taxonomical classification, pathogenic classification, and morphological classification. So three types of classifications of fungi: what is yeast, what is mold, then what are the sexual spores, it means reproduction of fungi, sexually or sexual methods, and we have seen the differences between bacteria and fungi. So thank you. In the next lectures we will deal with the detailed study of the fungi: superficial mycosis, cutaneous, subcutaneous, and deep mycosis. Thank you.